YOLO. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are we ready for some flavor? We'll drip some sauce in here this evening. I believe that we shall. Let's just get into it. Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications. Un segundo, I forgot the most important thing. So as I talk to y'all invisibly for just 1 second, I completely forgot to do something. That's what happens when I'm always running back and forth. What is the motherfucking deal? Give me 1 second here. Let me alleviate this one small issue, and we'll get into it. Boy, I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. I start going hard. It's always something. Let's start this over from the very beginning. Look, we finna start. We finna just push the whole reset button. We gonna act like none of these fuck ups happened, and we just gonna do this. Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications. What's the motherfucking deal? I am your host, Ed Honcho, Houston homeboy, Houston homer, and this is Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network. So that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. As you can see, Sauce Sports, all sports, only Houston. I don't know if you can see it in the thing very well. Yes. So I know some of y'all that hit me about some of the gear. If I've chopped it up with you already, don't worry about it. It may take me just a little bit, but you will be getting your sauce. And if you're looking to get your hands on one of the new sauce shirts, then, and we haven't chopped it up already about anything, then what I'll be doing is taking pre-orders. And, every couple of weeks I'll be placing a batch order because I don't really like going through the Teespring thing and doing all that. And, make sure we get all this stuff in order. But, if you're interested, definitely holler at me. I got y'all. Look, everybody else I hollered at. Y'all just give me a little bit of time. I'm going to take care of y'all. There's going to be a little here, a little there, but I'm going to take care of y'all. Don't worry. I got y'all taken care of. So, like I said, it's a couple of things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about, the Texans will be drafting sometime this week. Maybe not on Thursday, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. We'll see what moves they make. And I want to talk about, have the Rockets reloaded? Are they the Rockets that we're expecting to see? Excuse me. Or we were expecting to see coming into this playoffs? Did it take them a little bit? Did that loss, did that wake them up? Did that give them the smack in the face that they needed? So we got a couple of things that we're going to talk about here. And last I checked, I think the Astros were down to the Angels. But that was a little while ago, so I am not sure. So anyway, y'all know how we do this thing, man. We're going to represent with the roll call. So, shout out where you're from. If you're not from Houston, if you're not from the city, shout out your city, state, town, country, location, providence, latitude, longitude, gang, set, block, click, cul-de-sac, avenue, however you identify, however you get down, man. Just shout that out so we can show you a little bit of love. And if you are from the city, if you are from the H, you know what I'm saying, the dirty third, you know what I'm talking about? You're talking about Hustle Town, you know what I'm saying, the South City, you know what I'm saying, Screwston, Tueston, Platte City, all those good things. So many wonderful names to address the city of Houston by. But if you are from the city, man, make sure you side out your side with pride. So I can just show you a little bit of love. I'll be on the south side, I'll be on the north side, I'll be east to west, and I'll be in the corners and all that other good shit too. I already slide through Chi-Town shit. Make sure you got your heat on you. You slide through Chirac, Jersey Village in the motherfucking house, San Marcos in the motherfucking mix, Irving, Texas, Dirty Bay, Baytown. I see you, New Orleans, Louisiana, the NO, I see you. Vrabel, straight out of Nashville, straight out of Low Cash. Humble, Texas in the motherfucking mix. Yes, fuck Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Browns expect to pick between Mayfield and Sam Darnold. They're going to pick both of them. And fuck everybody else over. They like, fuck it. At least one of them got to work for us, and then at least we can fuck somebody else over the process. Instead of us always getting fucked over with the motherfucking QBs and shit. Wakanda, Spring, already. Representing Ted Ginn Jr. Already, okay. Harris County Dirt currently deployed. I already hold it down. Forever repping the land of the trio, yes sir. See, the only people you see trading was the Pats, Bills, Browns. That's about. I could definitely agree with you on that. We're gonna talk about some things with that too. And when Harden got traded, you became a fan. I could kind of understand that because basketball is more of a player sport, and so I see people gravitating. Oh man, ain't nobody colder than Scola, baby. So I see people, when they gravitate, they change teams because of specific players. You saw a lot of that with LeBron and all that other stuff. So we get some crackling on the audio. All right, let's see what we got. What kind of knobs we got to twist and turn over here. I have to be turning shit like I know what's going on, but actually, look, I should listen to these so I can hear it. That don't make sense. No, man, I don't even want to talk about Kyle Lowry. Lowry's salty. Excuse me. Now let's see if we can make this sound just a little bit. If this helps a little bit there. Yeah, we had a plethora of PGs and guards that we've had come through here and have not been able to maintain. So it's all Gucci. Okay, you say the audio goods on your end? Awesome. You leave sauce, you looking homeless. All right, so man, let's talk about some things. Let's start off talking about the Red Hot Rockets. Are they really red hot? Because they took a L and won a game, and I don't know if you call that red hot. We're going to talk about that, a little bit about the NBA and some other shenanigans. Somebody mentioned something about Russell, round one Russell earlier, and that has nothing to do with Houston other than the fact that he stole James Harden's MVP last year. And I was doing some thinking. Excuse me. Good grief. I was doing some thinking. Okay. And I know why Russell Westbrook really won the MVP over James Harden last year. And it's really a pathetic reason. It wasn't because of the triple-double. Because, again, if those people, it's a couple of things you got to look into here, okay? Okay, bet. And it's a couple of things that you got to look into here, okay? And one of those things being that appreciate that Jay Dizzle for do that right now. What happened to Russell Westbrook last year is a shame because it was the most disgraceful MVP ever given out. You know what I'm saying? And why I'm saying this is I said it last year. I said it shit before he ever got the MVP award. Whenever people were still debating whether or not it was going to be between him and Harden, I called it months ahead. I already said Russell was going to win it because of the shenanigans. People didn't really give Russell Westbrook the MVP because of what he did. Yeah, the triple-double sounds good, but whenever you ever heard of a 6-seed MVP, that's trash, okay? Then again, to come back and do it, again, this year, basically be in the same position going all the way down to the very end, and because of the luck of a couple of numbers, you actually fell into a better position, but really, everybody knows what it is. You actually had a worse record this year, if I'm not mistaken. And, excuse me. And, the numbers are the same, but nobody had Russell Westbrook in the MVP conversation at all. Nobody, you haven't heard his name mentioned today. You haven't heard, okay, they did an update to that. I need an update. You haven't heard anything of none of that type of shit, because what it is the pity party for Russell Westbrook is over. Because that's all it was, man. Y'all got to realize Russell Westbrook didn't go out. I mean, he did. He played hard, and I respect the fact that he plays hard, all that other stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That's good. That's Gucci. But in reality, the world had a pity party for Russell Westbrook. They felt like, Kevin Durant left him high and dry when he was in a situation where they could have won it, and all these other things that, could have happened. And so I think people still had that pity. Oh, you know what, Braylon, I have not. I did not go back and check, but I'll write it down right now to make sure that I do that. And I got a couple of things I need to address too, as far as some changes I'm going to make with the sauce before we start talking about the Texans. Braylon, and make sure I mark my words. I got you. And then, yeah. So what happened is it was a combination of the triple-double and the fact that people felt sorry for him, like he got fucked over by KD, and people still had, that animosity towards Kevin Durant and all that stuff still going on. So I think it was that is what helped propel, Russell Westbrook to that MVP status and get him that, because people just kind of wanted to, I think it was almost like a spit, to spit in the face of KD. Well, he did all this without you, and so my thing is that it wasn't that Russell, he played good. He played excellent basketball, did the same thing this year, same statistics essentially. But nobody had him in that conversation. Not once through the year did you hear anything about Russell Westbrook being in the MVP conversation. How does he bring in two more talented guys and essentially remain in the same position he was in last year? Last year you had Oladipo and Cantor. They go off and leave to a different team, and their numbers rise. I guarantee you this: Paul George goes elsewhere, his numbers will rise. Carmelo was having a off year. People can blame Carmelo for whatever they want. They knew what Carmelo was when he was coming. We knew what Carmelo was when we wanted to get the trade for him. But with that being said, it is what it is. You got two cancers on the same team. Two cancers don't heal. About Clutch Gaming deal. I heard y'all hiring. I don't qualify for any of those positions, but I would make a hell of a hype man at gaming tournaments. Y'all should let me go to the gaming tournaments. And then, when y'all are facing against your opposition, I'll talk shit to the opposition and get them out of their game. I'm telling you, it'll work. They get real intimidating, start threatening them and shit. I'll break their keyboards and controllers, all that other shit. We'll employ a bullying tactic. But shout out to Clutch Gaming. But so anyway, but again, I went back and I just thought about it. It wasn't that Russell Westbrook was better than James Harden. It's that the national media felt sorry for him. And you know how I know that the national media for some reason feels sorry for him? And it bothers me that ESPN, again, who holds about 20% of the MVP votes, and it's that narrative that they push. And I tell you, that's they have the control over the thought process of most people, because that's the channel most people are going to get their information from. They tweeted out yesterday about Rubio and Russell Westbrook and whatever little supposed beef they had. Apparently, Rubio doesn't give a fuck because he was just playing basketball, and Roosevelt, I'm going to shut that shit down. You're going to shut down Rubio, who's probably a worse shooter than fucking Rondo at a guard position. Like, I'm trying to think who's. There's not too many just PGs. I mean, you got PGs who can't really shoot. I mean, your point guard is supposed to facilitate the ball and distribute. And so, but just PGs that are just that awful of shooters, it's hard to be that bad. So Rubio, who, happened to get a triple-double, which is an anomaly for him, and then Russell gets so bad, he makes it a personal thing, and takes his team out. That's not MVP. He doesn't have MVP mentality, and it shows you that he's a cancer to the team. His teams could be so much better, that he is the fault. All the talent that has come through Oklahoma City, if you remove Russell Westbrook, but some of that talent has been there, you're talking about championships, because these guys go on to other cities and they play well. But again, fuck OKC, because we won't be seeing them next round if they can't deal with the fucking Jazz. Oh yes. So like I said, it took me a while, because like I say, y'all all have my views and they kind of teeter down in the middle, Lobo. Again, I was just doing a little bit of research. I have a homeboy who's in Hollywood doing a bunch of stuff, and he's he's a good guy. Whatever he thinks, we don't really get into politics too much. I've known him since second grade, and vice versa. We've been through a lot of things. And he was just telling me some stuff, and I was talking about some things because he had just did a movie. Actually, he just made a movie, and I was saying some stuff, and I made a comment about one of the characters in his movies, and he started laughing. He's like, "Oh man, whenever you do come to Cali, you can't say that." I'm like, "What the fuck you mean I can't say? I say whatever the fuck I want to." He's like, he's just like, man, he's like, you'll be surprised, but it's a lot of people in Hollywood that are super far left. Like if you have any type of conservative values, the motherfuckers will outcast. You think Colin Kaepernick, you think like people are mad because Colin Kaepernick is getting like blackballed in the NFL. You have no idea how many actors and actresses have been blackballed in Hollywood for having views in the other direction. It's just not as big of a deal, And so, man, I agree with you on that, Lobo. I agree with you. That's an excellent thing. Some guys just have it. Some guys are great soldiers. You know what I'm saying? But not every man is a leader. In the same sense that you have some of these athletes, they're great fucking athletes, but they lack the ability to teach their skill set to other guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that. That's why you see a lot of these superstar guys, they don't ever go on to be coaches or anything like that because they don't have the ability to teach guys. They just had this natural talent, and you just can't teach that. There's nothing that you can do there. Yes, Russell has always had. Oh, Zachariah, no, stop that. Because Harden makes his teammates better. Harden got one guy that got brought in, didn't even make the All-Star team. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Chris Paul didn't even make the All-Star team. A bunch of other guys, role players and stuff like that. Team got 10 games better. When you're already talking about you're a top-tier team in the West, and then got 10 games better, became the best in the league with just adding Chris Paul. Now, look at Chris Paul's resume. Chris Paul doesn't have a LeBron-like resume. Chris Paul has had a suspect playoff resume. That was the big knock on him. So it wasn't like you're just bringing this championship caliber player in. No. He brought in Chris Paul, a very good Hall of Fame point guard, and you see what happened with the Rockets. So Russell could never do that. Russell wouldn't be able to defer the right points and times to allow others to get theirs and, hey, know when it's his night and know when it's not his night. So, that's that. It's all Zach. I be getting sensitive. I got to make sure I get on all that stuff. The Astros getting Braz right now. That's no point. Heidi, how you doing this evening, Heidi? Speaking of that, so I want to tell you what I'm going to start doing. I know last week I messed with it a couple of times as far as, doing early sauce for the Patreon supporters. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is doing like a super early stream, like a morning show type stream for the Patreon supporters. And what it is, y'all will get it first. And then, but also with that morning stream, I'll record it as a podcast. And so that way, I can kill two birds with one stone. So when I release the Soft Sports podcast, and I'll do the morning show for the Patreon supporters, and then I'll release it about noon or a little afternoon for everybody else to be able to get a hold of it. So, you know what I mean? Oh no, nobody will ever be a Kemah. I don't think that Rockets, that's just the once in a lifetime. But Hakeem, people got to understand the transition Hakeem went through too as a guy. He had to become a leader. People forget how hardcore Hakeem would bust your ass. Like Hakeem had no problem punching a motherfucker in the mouth in the middle of a fucking, he didn't give a fuck. Like Hakeem had a temper, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually he transferred that into, leadership qualities and being able to do all kind of stuff. Hakeem didn't give a fuck. Hakeem gave no shits. How do you control anger management issues? You just got to understand those things, and you gotta work on some EEC. What do they call it? Emotional intelligence. I wouldn't say I don't think I have anger management issues. I may have at one point in time, but I don't know how I would have resolved that. Like I said, I just started. I don't know. I just stopped. The fuck is that? I just stopped fooling around. Yeah, CP3. You could tell he's at least CP3 be doing some little petty shit. You know what I'm saying? I really can't I can't tell you. You know, they tell you think about situations and things like that. I guess once you have things to value, you don't want to, you overvalue stuff like that. It just depends on how angry you get, That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah, I'm telling you, Akeem was a motherfucking fool, man. Yeah, exactly. So that's what you got to realize. So, but yeah, what I'm thinking is, like I say, doing like an early stream. You say about after 10 a.m. Somewhere around that. That'll be kosher. And then again, like I say, then release that towards the afternoon time, and then still have the late night sauce stream. And then what I think I'm gonna do some other various streaming in there with the Christian being on hiatus. But actually, about that I lied, because I think I might do one tonight. Because I actually had a little bit left over from what I originally anticipated. I was trying to get everything burnt up last night. So I'm debating on it. There may be a Christian tonight. Maybe a Christian tonight. It depends. We'll see. We'll see. We'll think about it. But the refs, yeah, but I mean, it's the Rockets. The Rockets' job right now is they've set a standard for themselves this season. And honestly, I don't feel like the Rockets have lived up to it so far in the playoffs. We saw a glimpse of it in the third quarter, and that's all fine and dandy. But, one third quarter, what are we talking about, 16 quarters being played so far. And, one amazing quarter is cool when we're talking about, we've had that historic season. Now, I'm not expecting them to put up those numbers. The playoffs is a different game. It's a different season. You're playing against and I agree with that also, El Lobo. Team chemistry to me is the biggest, because like I say, you look at this team, look how they get along, look how they mesh. I mean, it seems on and off the court. We haven't seen this before. When you brought in Howard and, some other guys, it didn't seem like, this team seems like a bunch of guys that all go out, except for CP3, because this old lady going to say, no, shame on you. No, but he's a family man, and I'm not knocking it. I respect that to the fullest, because I think some of that has carried over to some of the other guys on the team. But these guys seem like more of a close-knit unit than a lot of other guys. You got a lot of other teams who just look like guys, well, we come to play basketball together, then afterwards, we go our separate ways. But these guys look like they hang out on and off the court. I don't want to know what hoods Gerald Green be taking Harden to. They be dipping and diving. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm telling you, it just seemed like they really kick it on and off the court. You see that. It's not like, and what I like about it when Gerald Green talks about it is because Gerald Green could honestly, to any other superstar, he could just be some peon dude. It don't matter that he's from Houston or not. He's like, shit, it's Harden's team. He's the one that owns it. He's the one that not owns it, but might as well, as much as he's getting paid. But he's the one that runs it. The decisions are going to go through him. Whether or not the team is meshing is going to go through him is his decision. And the fact that Harden embraces everybody in that locker room, the fact that he is, you could tell that there's a chemistry, like the way Green talks about it, he loves it, man. You say you think CP3 be gone after this season? I don't think so. Yeah, I saw the thing about him selling his house, but we'll see how that works out. I don't think so. I think it depends on how he gets paid, and I think that's what counts. So I don't know about him getting a max. I think he wants that ring to solidify his legacy, and I think his best shot, and he knows it, is going to be here, no matter what anybody else does. I don't see it, so I think he's going to be here. I'm not worried about it. The max, there's going to be a lot of money being given out from the Rockets next year. You got to play Capella. You got to play and pay Capella, and you're going to have to pay CP3. So, I mean, it's going to be all good, man. Don't worry about it. Tillman already said he ain't tripping on no luxury tax. He wants to win, and so that's all that counts. That's all that matters, as long as we're winning. But I want to jump over and talk about the Texans for a little bit. I want to talk to Clint. They playing Clint, not Cliff. Cliff Paul. Cliff Paul's still back in the gap. He's still holding it down in L.A. So who knows? Look, what's the name might slide back over there. Yeah, we got to figure out how to get rid of that Rhino. They're probably going to have to put a first rounder. I think that's what hindered us this year, is because they couldn't put the Rockets couldn't get rid of a first rounder this year because they did it last year. And so you can't get rid of 2 first rounders in a row. And I think that's probably what hindered a lot of the trades. Sauce inflation gonna buy my house. It's going. You might want to hold on to it. It's going to increase in value like Bitcoin. Just make sure you get rid of it at the right time. But again, how confident are we going into Thursday? So polite, Heidi. How confident are we going into Thursday? Knowing, one, we don't have a first round pick, so we might not even, the Texans may not even show up on Thursday. We'll be here. So make sure we will be having the digital draft party. So make sure you tell your mama, tell your friends, tell your granny. I know she just got on YouTube, but just tell her to get some sauce. You know what I'm saying? If you're having trouble working all the other buttons and understanding, just go ahead and click it for her. Subscribe to the sauce. Make sure you click the notification button so she'll know when the sauce dripping. But yeah, make sure you spread that. Make sure you share that with your friends. Make sure you let everybody know, that Fucks with Football, that we will be live, especially, prior to the draft, but all during the draft, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll definitely be addressing the picks and speaking on different things. So about anything. Spanish people don't care about anything. Spanish people love their siestas. They take their siesta seriously. You look, tell you, don't hide your wife or the kids. Well, hide the kids. Kids can't come to the damn party. Kids be fucking the parties up, but wives and grandmas are always welcome to the party. So that's all I'm saying. That's it. I love grandmas. Wow. I'm looking at my fucking little. I'm looking at this ticker bar, and why haven't y'all? So y'all don't be reading that ticker. I'll be telling y'all some of y'all can't read because I'm looking at all of these spelling errors. I ran through that shit so quick and did not take the time to spell check that. That's what be happening when I be in a rush. But again, that's not y'all's fault. But again, so how confident though are we going into the draft that the Texans will be in a position to get value for the picks that they're making? How confident are we in Brian Gaine to do the things, that are the best interest for this team? Do we feel like, is it going to be Brian Gaine out there making independent decisions? Is he going to be a Pinocchio to the Bill O'Brien Geppetto? Was it Geppetto? I think Geppetto was the puppet master, whatever it was. Excuse me. And let's see. You can't watch it. Okay, I don't get that either. Just play out here. Try to say. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and about that, I'm gonna get back on it. Yeah, we're gonna do a couple of questions. Oh, did I even change that? I meant to change this thing. I didn't change that. I've been on this screen all this time and never changed it. But again, I have some concerns because we still have holes. That's obvious. We still have issues that need to be fixed, and with it being when we initially pick, I don't know. I mean, secondary, yes, this draft it's stacked. Give me a second. I'm putting these things here where they need to be. All right, that's correct. And like I say, teams around us have gotten better. This division has gotten much more solid. It went from an ass division, a dirty ass division. I mean, just shit. The Texans were just running through it easily with, no QB. You can imagine what would have happened those years if we would have had a QB. But we've been able to hold this down with no QB. We finally get one. We suffer some of the most outrageous injuries in history. We start seeing the weaknesses that we do have. They say when you're winning, you overlook a lot of things. But when we weren't winning, because we saw a lot of holes. I don't know, man. I don't feel like it's still an ass division because I would go, you can't leave with either one. I wouldn't say it's still an ass division because you got the Jags now. They're a legitimate defense, at least for the next year or so. If you have the Titans, which to us, they're still ass, obviously. But for some reason, the national media gives them respect. They feel like they're some type of contender. I don't know why. I don't know how, but fine. Because we're talking about the national media's view of, what this division looks like. And then with Deshaun Watson, we already know how people feel about the Texans. Without Deshaun Watson, we know exactly how they feel about the Texans also. And we know how Bob McNair feels about the Texans. That's the news we got out of that. Now, the worst team currently, and that's only because, of the uncertainty, is the Indianapolis Colts. Now, if Andrew Luck comes back and he's a solid player, if he's a 80% of himself, 90%, you're still talking about a good QB. But now if they don't put the pieces around him, what's the motherfucker? I ain't had a sound now. Oh, sorry about that. What's the motherfucking deal? Appreciate that love, Voodoo Child. Man, I had the damn sound off, so I apologize about that. But we'll fix that. Hold on. I know exactly what I'll do. Do.
Hands up if you feel got used to know my back. Cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up.
What I would do. And then
got used to know my back. Cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel got used to know my back. Cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Because he was doing it earlier. But I appreciate the love, Voodoo Child, man. And what is Jay Dizzle over there lying about, man? What you talking about, Jay Dizzle? You say if I didn't win, I'm taking a meal from everybody. Matter of fact, let me get a little giveaway going too while we got that. Make sure y'all get some sauce. But again, man, so the division, I don't think the division is as bad.
Got used to know my back, cause I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Check your donations. Someone donated $50 and $48.
Then, the Colts, they're the Colts, man. It is what it is. You say RIP to my eardrum. Y'all can hear, I don't hear nothing. Oh, maybe because I have the other thing on, so maybe it ain't playing that loud. But I don't know. Let me know if y'all heard it or not. So I was trying to make sure that that it went through. So again, it's like that. But yeah, talking about the division and what the Texans are going to need to do to get back to the top of this division. We went and we made some moves in the secondary. You look at the team that we have now, and we play the Patriots first. And do you feel better about the team even before we even touch the draft? Do you feel better about the team that the Texans will be trotting out against the Patriots next year? Now Bitcoin bouncing back. I figured it was going to take a little while, and it was going to jump back up. I think it was going through some things. People were going to test it for a little while, but we'll see. Last I saw it was at 8 something. I know it dropped down like 6 something at one point, and then it was kind of coming back up. But again, so how do y'all feel? Honestly, how do y'all feel? Do you really think that the Texans are in a position to take this division back over? Do you think that we're some pieces away? Do you think that we're some years away? Do you see us picking up the pieces that we need? I still feel like, offensive lineman is an issue we're going to have to address because we didn't really ever touch too much more on the tackle situation. And then if you have some solid defenses in this league, in this division, we're going to need tackles to protect Watson. Davenport, I think he'll be fine. I don't know if he's going to be I'm not saying he's going to be a Dwayne Brown or anything like that, but I think he'll be a serviceable tackle. As far as outside of that, you start questioning things. You're looking at some of these other offensive line pieces. You're looking at the Quessenberries. You're looking at the Allens. You're looking at, some of these newer guys who didn't really get a lot of shine where they previously were. But then again, offensive line is not a glorified position. But are they, seriously, are they better than Su'a-Filo? Su'a-Filo was a starter, These guys, some of these guys were back there with the, I don't even know, the Saints guy. He was a part-time, well, I won't say a part-time guy, but he got in and out, So, how are you guys really feeling? Do you feel like we'll be able to get the depth that we need in some of these other positions? And I feel like if the opportunity arose, because it's one I'm really looking at, I'm really curious about, because I'm really thinking about the Steelers situation. With Shazier going down, and I really got to look at some things, but I'm curious what it would take to get them to maybe come out of one of those earlier round picks, and I'm wondering if McKinney can be dangled out there, because again we haven't heard much in the talks of extending McKinney, and before you just let him walk, hey, why not try to get something for him? I'm very curious to see what happens with that situation, and I would not be opposed as much as I know some people are high on McKinney. I know some people like McKinney. I wouldn't be opposed to, trying to find some value for him. I mean, I understand he's a leading tackler. I get all these things, but it's just something like I feel like with some of the other little younger guys we have, and I'm just feeling the way the Texans are handling. Not saying that I don't like McKinney. I do. But I just feel like McKinney, Johnson, and don't expect shit for Johnson. I'm just saying the name. He could be out there as a possible piece. McKinney, Johnson, and Jackson. Don't be surprised if these guys are offered up in a trade or they're no longer with us. Man, people do that all the time. Balin. Yes, the sauce should have been reset yesterday. But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying is that because he's a leading tackler, because of the statistics that he has, I think that you could convince teams to give you something more along the lines of what you need. Because I say at inside we have depth with the two younger guys, with Cunningham, to me a way more athletic specimen. With Cole, with a way more athletic specimen. I'm not going to wish any negativity, but I'm just telling you, I promise you this. There will be absolutely no shock from me. And I'm not saying this in a negative light. Okay? I'm not saying this in a negative light. And that's what I'm saying. You let Cunningham, let Rack really get hands on with Cunningham and telling me what you're going to get out that shit. As opposed to what you got out of Vrabel. Oh, I got to be Jay Crowder, man. What's the motherfucking deal, Q Taylor? My thing is this, that what's up, Gucci? Is that, like I say, you could probably get more value for him now, because I just don't see them wanting to. I don't see them wanting to pay him a whole lot, and I don't see that's a buffet defense. He runs a 3-4 on the buffet. That's funny. Three side items, 4 main items. That's how you hit the buffet. Boy, Clarence Austin Jr., what's the motherfucking deal? I heard you been getting handled on that Madden, man. Let me find out, man. But I can see McKinney. I can see interest from the Pats. I can see interest from the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that. I can see it because, like, the Steelers with Shazier, don't know what the situation is going to be with that. Turf Dog Magoonie, that's a great name. Yeah, hey, look, trust me, that is not that's not off the books, Turf Dog. That's never off the books. We can drip sauce nationwide. You know what, Clarence? I give you the bonus points for being straight up about it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't even gonna give you a hard time about it since you was straight up about it. I was gonna see if he's gonna come here and try to be like, some motherfuckers be coming with excuses and all kind of off the wall shit, but they be coming to that mad and shit, so you be having to give them a hard time, but you straight make with it, so I ain't even gonna harass you. Yeah, you're not lying. Outside of Howland, Honey Badger, we re-signed more, and that's what I'm curious as to see what's going to happen with Kareem. Is it going to be, because Kareem's getting $9 million this year? And I'm curious because some of these names that were on the market, some of these corners, some of these guys like that, there was a couple of folks who got a little bit less than that. And I'm like, man, I know these guys are a bit more talented than Kareem. So what are the Texans' plans? Are they really going to try to entertain and see if they can get something out of it? I don't know too many teams are going to be interested in paying him that kind of money. Are they going to try to change his position? And then again, you could have got a top-notch safety for cheaper than that. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Kareem. And that's why I say don't be surprised if Kareem is involved in a trade. Don't be surprised if McKinney's involved in a trade because, again, this is a contract year coming up. And we've heard no conversations about anything about trying to deal with McKinney. Only thing we've heard about McKinney is that he's got to lose some weight, So I don't think the Texans, I think they like him. But I don't think that I'm not saying they don't like him, but I think that they may feel like they have some value at that position and they could come off McKinney because I don't think that he's a make or break guy. And this is just my thoughts. This is just me being observant, me looking at the talks coming out of camp. You've heard plenty of talk about Clowney. We want to know what's going on with that. You hear the talks about Clowney. You've heard him even consider talking about, we've heard conversations about Kevin Johnson. Are they going to entertain that 5th year or not? I don't see him doing it because, again, the reason why I don't see him doing it is, one, he hasn't played up to par. Then, two, they may entertain him in a trade with another team. And, mainly only having him for that year may be better off than trying to have to deal with him for 2 years. We'll see. But, again, you can always cut him. It's going to be very interesting to see just what happens. That's why I say I'm very interested in the final outcome after the draft. But I'm going to be honest. Like, at first I was like, okay, cool. Not really tripping. I see a couple of texts here on the South line. And the South line is open, man. Like I say, did you really win the raffle yesterday? I'd have to go back and look. Jay, don't let me lie to you. Because it'd be so many in and out, I'd be forgetting who did what. I'm getting better. I'm starting to take notes. That's why I say I told y'all the reason why I'm minimizing the Kush deal now is simply because I'm going to start going more all into the sauce to give y'all better flavor. So I'm going to start, again, hitting y'all in the mornings for the Patreon supporters, bringing y'all more sauce content daily, more organized, a better look, just cleaner. There's no reason why I shouldn't. And so that's part of the reason. So definitely, y'all have suggestions, y'all have constructive criticism, always send it to my way. You can shoot it through the comment section on the videos. You can shoot it through the email. You can hit me on social media because it's better that way. Because if y'all putting stuff in the chat, I may or may not see it, and sometimes I overlook things. So man, I had asparagus a couple of nights ago. Man, I might have a couple of stalks left. Man, Pizza Patron, man. Now you need some Pizza Hat. Pizza Hat is where it's at. Pizza Patreon. That would be the greatest pizza place ever. Community crowdsourced pizza. You know what I'm saying? Just look, anytime you got some spare change, you just throw it in the Pizza Patreon until it accumulates. And then somebody calls in for a pizza and you just deliver it. I don't know about that. 'Cause somebody would take advantage of the free pizza. Like some asshole would always try to capitalize. Like wouldn't leave any free pizza for others. They would just try to eat all the free pizza. But so again, like I say, I'm somewhat nervous, and it's only because it's not like I'm losing anything, but it's only because we haven't seen what Brian Gaines is going to do in a draft with full control. Durf, you know what? Let's because actually, you know what I did? I did put a crow on it, and I'm gonna organize the crow book and everything too, to make sure that everybody stays accountable for their crow. Because all sports is about accountability. If we say some off the wall shit, we got to own up to it. Got to own up to it. That's a must. So let me get the crow book under control. But I did put some crow on that McKinney will be. Hey, Rabbit, chill out. What's up? What you got going on? Do we need to have a talk, Dr. Rabbit? Do we need to have an emergency Kush Den to talk about some? We need to have an emergency Kush Den to talk about some things. But again, so I want y'all to be all right. Life has a lot to offer. You should never want to die. Been there, bounce back from it. Too much. Life has too much to offer. But the Rabbit is on suicide watch every other show. That's no good. I gotta pay more attention in to make sure I ain't nobody suicidal. Cause shit, that's what old buddy who shot up that other school. They caught him, but he said some shit on the comments. So I have actually been more alert to things like that just to make sure, because I don't want y'all to get no craziness. So this is what we'll do, man. What time is it now? It's about 9:18. So we'll do a dead. I know I said I was gonna stop, but like I said, I had a little bit left over, so why not share it with you guys? So we'll slide into Kush Den. Let's say 9:45. That'll give you some time to come up with a topic, and make sure everything else is copacetic. I don't know. I might fuck with some of the. I might play some Far Cry in the Kush Den. We'll see. But yeah, let's shoot for 9:45, man. And I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to make sure I get back to getting my sauce on the time. So I want to make sure, like the streams, I'm going to get back to 45 minutes of stream. And I'm actually thinking about on the regular streams. Yeah, these are some other things I meant to mention to y'all. Instead of normally starting at 7, which is what I usually try to start at, I think I'm going to move up a little bit earlier and to probably start at, say, like 6 o'clock Central Time. And the only reason I'm thinking about that is just because, again, I have to start working on growth and getting the numbers up. Trust me, I love all the fresh ingredients. But in the end game, if we want to get this sauce thing where it needs to be, we got to get the numbers up. And I'm just looking at, people who watch regular TV and stuff like that. You have a lot of other shows that you're competing against. 7 o'clock, that's prime time and all that other stuff. And so the sauce ain't dripping like that. I know y'all fuck with it on prime time because y'all come through for the flavor every day, and I appreciate that. But if I want to get more visibility, I think, for the flavor, I think I'm going to start shooting about 6 p.m. Central Time, keeping the streams about 45 minutes. Round tables, they'll be a little bit different, because they go, it's always a lot of energy, a lot of stuff going on them. So I might start making those, round tables will be like
it's too much sauce.
Hour and a half. The Rockets pre-games will be like 30 minutes before, and then after, kind of however long that goes, depending on the energy of the stream. But yeah, for the most part, trying to keep everything between 30 for the pre-games, 45 for the regular stuff, round tables, hour and a half max, special events, drafts and other things like that. They're just going to go how they go. So, like I said, we're going to figure this thing out. I got to get some uniformity to the sauce. I got to get some organization. It has to be cleaner. It has to be better. I've been promising these things, and so it's time to execute on that. Y'all have been coming through for me time and time again. Everybody, again, like I say, everybody I reached out to about the shirts prior to, just give me some time. Y'all will be. Dr. Rabbit, how many names you got? That's hilarious. Because I was playing Far Cry and I was looking at the little rabbit, whatchamacallit. Use those. Well, Jeremiah said Jeremiah won the thing from yesterday. All the sauce for the moderator sauce. So, so yeah, yesterday you won it all. So we reset the sauce yesterday. You definitely won for last week. So good job. Oh shit. You see the face. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, Rabbit, you got about 4 or 5 of them. I'll be seeing you, pimp. I ain't mad at you. Do your damn thing. But again, man, like I say, so it's about getting better. It's about improving, and finding the best times to do the sauce, the best times to fuck with y'all, and all that other good stuff. So it's all Gucci, man. I just want to be able to provide the best. Again, I was saying for the people with the shirts that I've already talked to about a shirt, like I say, y'all good. Just give me a little bit. I'll be pushing some things here and there. If you are interested in a shirt, you can hit me on any of the social media platforms that I use, so that you can hit me at Sauce Sports HTX, at Sauce Sports HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Either one of those, shoot me a DM. If you're interested in the shirt, I'll get your information. 20 straight up. And like I say, we'll pre-order them first, and then once everything gets copacetic, I'll send them all. That way I can just send them all out as a batch, as opposed to just, one here, one there, because I won't always have time to do that. So I like to send them all out in a group. So get them together like that. If you are interested in a shirt, multiple colors and things like that. I got some some red, some blue, and some other things like that. So make sure y'all fucking with the flavor. I will be more sauced up. Make sure I'm dripping more flavor on the streams. I gotta represent the flavor more often. But so I haven't forgotten about y'all. Anybody new who wants in? I'm trying to make sure I covered everything I need to talk about. Cushed in 9:45. Yeah. So with that being said, man. Oh yeah, the media still hate. That's probably gonna be a topic for tomorrow. We're gonna talk about a bunch of hate because there's been some collective hate I've seen today, but I've been out and about for the most part today, so I hadn't had a chance to really get on that like I wanted to. A 50 burger quarter, that was amazing. That was historic and still gets downplayed. Okay, y'all got a heist going on. Okay, we'll do your heist thing. I ain't tripping. You know I gotta let y'all get y'all money. So while we're waiting for this heist to end, you want a sauce leader update, and I need a topic for currently Heidi is winning in the sauce. Second place is someone I don't think I've ever seen, Alana. So that's a new name. I'm not sure if somebody's changed their name from something else originally or whatever it is, but they are definitely in second place with the sauce. Third place, Devontae Love. Fourth place, Eyes Open. And Jay Dizzle is in fifth. And then you got a couple of familiars after that one. So the plan for Thursday is we will be doing a roundtable. It'll be a little bit different look. Oh, man, that would ruin Super Troopers for me. And that's good. That's what they get. That's what they get. The parents should have knew better than that, man. The parents should have knew better, and I hope they had to go home and explain all the tallywhackers on screen. And so they had to deal with that problem for going in there and taking kids to a movie that definitely isn't kid friendly. Deal with those problems. Dude did new. I'm glad you wore me because I definitely want to go see Super Troopers. And I guess I should watch it while I'm still in my bake zone. So I might have to go find a bootleg of that bitch. Yeah, so I can watch it bake because it's not the same if you ain't on the right level, man. So we'll see exactly how that all plays out. All right, let me see. We'll see what's shaking on that one, Berkeley, because we was gonna do something a little bit different because what I got going on with that one, but might be able to make that work. If not that one, we'll definitely get you in on something. Because I'll definitely look as you talking. I'm over here with the mouse going ahead, clicking on the thing. Let me see. Let me go ahead and go to channel so I can see what he got on his channel as you were saying that shit. So this all Gucci. That's fucking funny though. That's fucking funny. I can fuck with that. But we're gonna make some things shake for the draft. Maybe have a shirt or two to give away during the stream or something. Then and we'll see what's shaking. You have a high school project vid on there. Shit, it's all good, man. Hey, as long as you got something working, something is better than nothing. So. Look, one day to keep all this sauce, we're going to figure out a way to convert it into some type of cryptocurrency. And so what I'll do is allow y'all to exchange your sauce for crypto, and then eventually that crypto will hold some type of value. It'll become valuable. I'm gonna do an ICO for the sauce coin, and we'll figure it out. So the value will be based on the value of sauce sports. So what I'll have to do is the more I grind, the more we grow this thing out, the more valuable, it'll be. And then, when you feel like you can cash out your real sauce and go buy you a sauce house. Something like that. Oh, that's a good one, Project Workplace Relationships, co-worker. That's a good, man. You know what? I'm glad you said that. You got it. That's gonna be the topic. We're gonna talk about those type of things. That's a great fucking topic, man. I don't know why I didn't think about that, because I had a couple of those happen. Definitely had a couple of those happen. So that is the topic. Has the heist been executed? The refuted suffer few loss. So the rest of the group got away with bags of cash. Okay. Well, there you go. Voodoo the only one. Oh man, we still way off. We like I think we lost a couple of extra subs too. You know what I'm saying? Sauce to the furries. Oh my goodness. We'll talk about that in the Kush Den. But with that being said, let me slide up out of here so I can get ready. That means about 15 minutes or so, and we'll be in the Kush Den. Make sure y'all are part of that. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Fucking with the Devontae. Did I say something that made you sick, man? But that's a bad man. Look, yeah, don't throw up on nothing nice. You know, make sure you make it straight to the toilet action. But with that being said, don't slide out, slide in. I do both. But I slide in, and when I'm done sliding in, I slide out like a slippery, soapy snake. But with that being said, I'm going to catch y'all at the Kush Den in a few. I'm going to stop fucking with y'all in this flavor. But I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Most of all, y'all stay saucy. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Don't let anybody tell you different, because I know it's a motherfucking fact, Jack. It's your boy, Honcho. I'm out.